Sorry guys, I had to get that out of the way. I'm starting a little bit early. I was a scheduled stream. I got nothing to say to you guys other than check me out. I'm gonna paint some shirts now. Let's start with this one. In loving memory of Stella. I'm not gonna show you guys the picture, but it's a picture of a Shih Tzu. R.I.P. In loving memory of Stella. I got some script shirts and then some graffiti ones over here, which will be fun. I'm only gonna paint what we see here. Is gonna be a couple. I'm aiming for like a 45-minute stream today, instead of one of those long 2-hour ones. And I'll give you guys a minute to jump in the chat. Hello everybody, I see some chats coming in with the hellos. Hello, welcome to the Monday. In loving memory of Stella. Put the loving memory up here and the name down there in a pocket. Go to drop shadow. I've been saying this forever, but I'm going to make some intentional how to airbrush videos. If you guys are jumping in this live stream now and you want to learn how to airbrush or how to do graffiti letters, check out my other videos. These live streams, I like to talk a lot, but I would like to teach a lot and teach intentionally on those other videos. So subscribe and be on the lookout for that. The end of 2020 is where we're at here, and business has been booming as it does during the holiday seasons, which prevented me from really being able to create all those big videos like I want to. My goal is to continue taking orders as they come in for the rest of 2020, and then at the end of the year maybe slow down on those orders a little bit, and hopefully just for January and February just make videos and content and paint cool stuff and just do fun things, and hopefully not need to paint commissioned artwork for a little while. That said, I'd love to do some cool commissioned canvases, not like regular t-shirts. Inspiration click only. Let me get these two script shirts out of the way real quick. Script designs, inspiration. I'm gonna go, let's just go inspiration click only. Inspiration. C-L-I-Q-U-E. Only. And I'm gonna hit it with the drop shadow as always. I love some drop shadows. They're really great practice because you're doing the same thing as your lettering was in the first place. Gives you a good target to aim at. You do the same thing as you do for your text, but you're just backing a little bit farther away from the shirt and pulling back on that trigger a little bit. A lot of people think drop shadows are done with a different color paint. You can. I don't do that. I use the same color. And let me go check out this chat. Welcome to, somebody did a join. Somebody joined in. Welcome. Thank you for joining the channel. That's awesome. Look forward to your chats and things. What's my favorite color? Bluish, greenish. This guy right here. This tealish color. It's kind of my go-to. Hello. Hello, Oikoa. One of my members. My dad. You're not sneaky. All right. Next is this hoodie. We'll do the hoodie next. Make sure I do this right. Orange background, blue outline, and gray fill for the letters. We're going to fill the letters first with this gray color. Writing Malachi, M-A-L-A-C-H-I. First step is always space out those letters. You know where they go. I feel like I repeat myself all the time on these videos, but then again, I go back and I watch Bob Ross, and all he does is say the same thing over and over again with his titanium white. So I guess it works. If it works for him, it works for me. Now that I have the spacing of those letters done, time to hit the black outlines with it. About time I caught you live. Thank you guys for the compliment. Awesome. Alright, this is the fun part of all the designs. You know what? No, I'm going to play with the shape of the letters a little bit more before I go to the black outlines, because I don't want to rush through it. These are the designs that I enjoy doing most, and I believe it's what you guys enjoy watching the most, so I'm going to make the most out of it. Now that I know every letter has its place in the world, it knows how big it's going to be and where it's going to be spaced out, I can now start to expand on those letters. What I'm focusing on primarily here is making sure the letters have some style, but that they're legible, that the important parts of the letters are what's being shown. The holes inside of A's and letters like that, those are important to make sure to be legible. This L is kind of in my way of where I want to put the hole in the A, so I'm going to write the A right on top of it. And do something fancy there. I hope my camera angle is okay. I think it's a little bit too high. There we go. I got a different camera mount on today. Hopefully it's not so bad on my neck. That other mount I have makes my neck hurt a lot. That's a little better. All right. There's going to be some text here and a crown here. Favorite movie? Why is everybody asking my favorite stuff? Favorite movie? Armageddon. I'm glad you're here. Spicy toothpaste. Long time fan. Yeah, I would like to paint just this style all day long if it was up to me. And I'm working on trying to get that to be the normal. Now you notice if you're a graffiti artist that uses spray cans that I'm doing the outlines before I'm doing the fills. And that might be weird to you. And that's okay. But that's how I do it. And I have that option because airbrushing is a little different than spray cans in that most of the paint is transparent. So when I fill these lines in after the fact, it's not going to cover the black outlines. And to help that be the reality, I'm laying down the black pretty heavy. I'm not doing thin lines like I would on script. They kind of look the same, but these lines are a lot heavier in practice. On this shirt, there's more paint, and that just helps it stand out once the other colors layer on top of it. It's not something that you really see, especially probably through this video, but I know that I'm making a thicker line. Gotta discuss how you handle your brush and formula one day. Laid vertical versus horizontal on easel, maybe. On form. I much prefer painting vertically than painting down on paper, especially with an airbrush, and there's several reasons for that. One, with these siphon feed airbrushes, if you hold your airbrush like that, it's going to start leaking, and you don't want that. If you had a gravity fed airbrush, that's okay, because the cup is meant to do that. But when you're airbrushing, it's different than using a pencil to draw on paper with your wrist. You're airbrushing, you're using your whole body. I'm using my hips and my waist and my elbows and shoulders to move around. I'm not using my wrist to make lines. And that's how you get a lot of control, especially on these bigger, full lines. To make this line go exactly on top of this shadow in one pass, you would not be able to do that. I wouldn't be able to do that with my wrist on a pencil, or with a pencil on paper. But with an airbrush, I have almost perfect control of where I want to put these lines. And that takes some practice, but it's a lot easier to do that with your whole body than it is to, you know. The bigger movements you can make, the smoother they're going to be. Here's a crown, my generic quick crown shape. I'm painting with Createx paints. This is the Badger Omni 3000 airbrush. It's just a siphon fed dual action airbrush. There's lots of options out there. You don't have to use this one. And I'm painting at about 50 psi right now. I think it's 50. About 45 psi. Let me write this text first, and then I'm going to do some drop shadows down here. Mally Dukes, M-A-L-L-Y-D-U-K-E-S. I kind of brought this too low. I'm gonna put it right here. My black paint and my white paint that you'll see are the only opaque colors that I use. The rest of the colors are all transparent, which, as I said earlier, means I can layer them on top of these black outlines without them covering the black outlines. Let me read these comments real quick. Anything? How long have I been on YouTube? I'm the best artist you've ever seen. I don't believe that. I've been on YouTube technically since 2011, but I haven't started pushing it until this year. It's been a couple months. I've been making videos here and there, but I haven't sat down and decided, hey, I want to make a following. I want to do this. And the reason I'm here is to I want to teach people how to use this tool. I know there's a lot better artists out there than me, especially a lot better graffiti artists out there than I am, and very few of them that I've known have ever used an airbrush to do it. A lot of them have a bad impression of what the airbrush is and how it works and what you can do with it. And I've found that people don't like this tool because of the stigma behind it. And I think that's kind of silly. And people need to start using this airbrush tool. And I know how to use this airbrush tool. So I want to teach you guys how to do that. I've seen much better graffiti art than I can make. I'm just doing a simple black drop shadow here at the bottom. Other people would do lots of 3D effects with highlights and stuff, and they would struggle doing it with markers and big spray cans, when if they were able to use this airbrush to do it, it would look so much better. The cap at the level of detail that you can get is so much higher with this tool. Alright. Plus the amount of things that you can paint on. There's different types of paints for everything that you'd want to paint. So, it's pretty neat. Alright, these letters are filled with gray. Then they're going to be outlined with blue and orange as well. How's your day? Hey, Liv. How do you advertise? I do not advertise. I spent all my time that you would spend advertising instead working on search engine optimization for my website. Advertising is tricky. You can't just throw money at a Facebook and say, hey, sell my shirts. You have to know your audience and know who to advertise to and how to advertise to them. That's not my expertise. I have some success with it, but it's not a... If that's the knowledge that you're looking for, you can find an expert that would be better off than me. My suggestion is find your niche. Find your market specifically and try to really sell to a smaller number of people than trying to sell to everybody in the world. Find the type of designs or artwork that you like to do or whatever it is you're selling, and sell to the people that are really, really interested in that particular thing, and you'll have a lot more success, and you'll spend a lot more or a lot less advertising dollars doing it. How long have you been doing graffiti? I've been airbrushing for about 12 years. I've been doing graffiti style artwork like this. I would only call my artwork graffiti style artwork for the last like 2 or 3 years. I'm not very experienced with spray cans. Some people define graffiti artwork by only using big rattle spray cans. I haven't used a lot of those. I'm pretty much primarily an airbrush artist. But you can see the very similar outcome. I just happen to do it on t-shirts instead of walls. I also do canvases and stuff like that. Those graffiti alphabets that I do on canvases, those are some of my favorite to do. I actually have an order for one of those that I was going to try to fit in today. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it today. But those are fun. I know this lighting is all wrong. And this needs to be outlined in blue and then outlined in orange. It's a lot of colors on one shirt, but that's what they asked for. Thank you guys for the compliments. You got the Master S62. How's it working out for you? Dale, it's your cousin. Hey, Chewy. What's going on, man? Welcome. Glad that you're here. Yeah, that Master Airbrush, that's what I'm using for the orange, I believe. I think so, yeah. I still got it here. My Master is still working out. It's definitely a good beginner airbrush. He's talking about a video I did reviewing the Master Airbrush. And the conclusion was, for 35 bucks, I think it was, great beginner airbrush. Eventually you'll want to get something a little more hardy and precise and durable. But if you're just learning, it's perfectly fine. Feel like it gets tip dry a little more often. I think that is the case. I agree. It might just be the quality of the needle itself. And I think I just got the Sharpen Air needle repair kit, and it came with a polishing kit. And for the first time, I'm going to try polishing my airbrush needles. Polishing them makes the needles nice and smooth, and will prevent some tip dry, because instead of the paint getting stuck to the little tiny microscopic holes in the needle, you should be able to polish them out and get a much smoother surface so paint can't stick to that needle as well. If that's the case, which is what everyone says, polishing your needle should eliminate tip dry. At least a lot of it. So I'm gonna do that. Whoa. One thing I don't like about the master, and I don't think it's the master's fault, I think it's just the configuration of my bottles, is that the bottles don't stay on there as well. They kind of slip off. But I'm using some cheap off-brand airbrush bottles. The Iwata Big Mouth bottles are great, but they're like $5 a bottle. And these I put together myself. Bought the cap and bought the bottle. They cost me like 60 cents each or something. What do you think of those pics you sent me on Instagram? I don't know if I've seen those yet. Hi from Spain. Apologize for your absence. Oh, I'm sorry you were in the hospital. How dare you get hurt and not be here for my live streams? What is your problem? You think being at the hospital is an excuse for missing my live stream? I'm kidding, obviously. I hope you feel better, or heal, or your leg unbreaks itself. I don't know. Too many of the people that I know are in the hospital right now. I don't like it. This whole COVID situation is I'm kind of done with it. Kind of ready for that to go away. Here's some drips. I'm gonna do one of these gooey, melty drips too. You guys didn't know airbrushing was an instrument as well, and now you do. That'll work. I'm gonna put some white highlights on this bottom thing because I forgot to. Next I'm doing the gold chain design, but I'm doing it in blue, so I guess it's a blue chain design. How is my pastor? He is still in the hospital. He's moved. He is in he's in physical therapy now. He's getting better, much better. I expect him to make a full recovery. He was able to walk yesterday a little bit. They're doing better. He's doing better. Okay. This one, I think it just says Malachi again. M-A-L-A-C-H-I. Different style font. We're doing a gold, I keep on calling it a gold chain, but it's a blue chain up here. Hello, Ayla. Thank you for watching. I'm glad that you liked the work. M-A-L-A-C-H-I. Notice the same letter shapes happen here and here, and they're gonna turn out to look completely different, but the same bones of the letter exist. I kind of want to do, because I'm the boss, I'm gonna do that. That'll work. I'm gonna thicken these up some. See you live, have fun at school. I want all the strokes on these letters to be pretty close to the same thickness all the way across the design. I don't want to have thin parts and thick parts of the letters. That's one of the things that you don't really realize when you're first starting out doing graffiti or any kind of lettering. And you have letters that are way taller than other letters and letters that are way bigger and thicker, and it makes your whole design look a little goofy. You need some congruency, some consistency across the whole thing, and that's what ties it all together. A lot of the aspects of a design that determine whether it's a good design or a bad design are harder to explain. They're kind of intangible. So like the thickness of your letters, you might not know to look for that. You might not even be able to define or say like, hey, that doesn't look right because the letters are thick. But in your mind, when you're looking at it, you're like, something doesn't look right here, and it might be one of those things, like your letters aren't the same thickness across. Or the angles that are, there's a lot of parallels here, and there's a lot of perpendiculars. They're not perpendicular, but they're all going this way, or they're all going this other direction. And if you have too many directions, it gets hard to read, but if you use that same parallel line everywhere, it brings everything visually together, sometimes subconsciously, but that's all that matters. That's all it takes. You are welcome for making these videos. I enjoy doing it. I'm glad that you guys are learning from it, and that's what motivates me to keep going. If it was up to me, I would do this for a living. Make more videos of how to paint. I would like to teach classes. Travel around the world, do workshops. That'd be awesome. One day. On the way. Alright. I think this design looks better in gold because it kind of makes more sense than a blue chain. And it just doesn't, I don't know. But that's what they ordered, and that's what they're gonna get this time. Okay. I think I'm doing a black outline, and then I have to outline that in orange, which is strange, but whatever. Spacing can ruin a piece, yeah. For sure, spacing is one of the hardest parts to do you think that the what do you think of US Art Supply airbrush paints? I don't know, I've never tried them. The reason I haven't is because they only come in those small quantities, and I would go through that very quickly. And because they only come in small quantities, it tells me that they don't want to be a bigger brand, if that makes sense, and I might just be judging them. I've never heard any other artists that I know use them. That doesn't mean that they're bad, that just means I don't know. If you're doing illustrations and stuff on paper, that 2-ounce bottle of paint is going to last a long time. So don't let that stop you. But for me, doing t-shirts, that's just not practical. I use Createx paints. I've also used Aquaflow and E-Tech and Spectratex. Everybody works, they all work pretty much the same. They all work fine. Createx is the most widely available, consistent brand. So I go with them. Every paint manufacturer has kind of gone through a little bit of a struggle this year. Apparently raw materials for producing paint, which I know nothing about, have been hard to get. So everyone has been slow to manufacture. They've had some inconsistent paints. Even Createx had some inconsistency in their products, and there was really nothing they could do about it. A lot of the black paint that I got from them this year was just super thick and had to be watered down a lot, which is, it's unfortunate, but at the same time I got like twice as much use out of a bottle of paint because I was watering it down half and half, so it was fine. What ratio do I mix white into a transition? Yeah. Are you talking about watering down the white to use it, or like to mix a lighter color? When I'm using white straight out of the bottle, actually it's not straight out of the bottle, when I'm using white to make white paint, I put a couple drops of probably like a 1 to 10 ratio, maybe 10% reducer to make it spray properly. When I'm mixing white with another color just to make an opaque or lighter color, it really depends on the color I'm making. I need to clean this airbrush again. Yes, Aquaflow smells great. Aquaflow is like those scented markers that you got as a kid. Every color smells a little different. White smells like a vanilla, and you can tell when you walk into a shop what kind of paint they use when you smell the air. What got me into graffiti art? Airbrushing was never something I thought I'd be doing. I don't know. It's not something I looked forward or thought that I would be doing in the future. I remember as a kid I went to a theme park and I saw the airbrush stand for the first time, and I saw the guys painting. I was too young to even know what that was, but it was really cool, and I was like, those guys are really cool. But then 10 years later, coming out of high school, I needed a seasonal job. I needed a job, so I applied for the airbrush shop because I had a friend that worked there, and I got in and learned everything from scratch. And I struggled along because airbrushing has a huge learning curve and it's hard to figure out. But then I eventually got it. I enjoyed it enough to make a business out of it and grew from there. And as I continued to paint letters on shirts all the time, mostly in like this sort of style, I eventually started drifting to more graffiti type of styles because I enjoyed this a lot more. I enjoy the technicality of drawing shapes and letters and stuff. And I'm on my journey to become a better graffiti artist and artist in general. I've always been an artist, but usually what I go to is letters. So I'm not good at drawing cartoons and things like that. I just never tried to. So I like the shapes and the lines and the shading. My goal is to be a YouTube creator here, teaching people how to do graffiti and airbrush and answering questions and reviewing products and trying to be a guide to get people into airbrushing, because it is a big learning curve. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot of stuff that you need to buy and a lot of stuff that you don't need to buy, but it looks like you might need to buy, and it's confusing. I know from first-hand experience how difficult it is to learn to airbrush. And I've done a lot of experiments with what to use and what pressures to use and how to clean your airbrush and all that. And I've got 12 years of experience figuring all that out. And I'd love to help everybody else not have to go through that whole frustrating ordeal as I have. Do this orange outline, and then I'm going to come back with the white highlights. Everything will pop out. On the inside, I'm just going to fill it in with orange. I don't want there to be any white space on the inside. Wish I could speed up a live video, like time lapse through this whole outline. Must paint faster. This is that master airbrush, by the way, that I did a review on. As you can see, it's holding up, doing the thing just fine. Alright. White outlines. Do you ever struggle with art block? Yes, all the time. That's why these orders help me. I don't have to think about what to paint. I just paint what's on the order, and I can kind of do it. And then if I ever am inspired by something, I can set it down and then go paint that. But yeah, it's when I sit down with a pencil on a sketchbook, I just stare at a blank page for a while until I just draw some letters. Cartoons are just shapes as well. You're absolutely right about that, and it's all a mental block for me, and I need to get over it. I need to learn how to draw some cartoons. I need to take a class, honestly, on like figure drawing. I'm probably not nearly. That's probably the biggest challenge of this whole YouTube thing, is that in order to make it work, I need to step out of my comfort zone. And I've done that with these live videos. I certainly would not have been comfortable doing this a year ago. But I decided I had to do it anyway. But next I need to start drawing things that I don't know how to draw. This white outline's a little goofy. I don't know if I like it, but there it is. So. I'm gonna fix it with a little more blue. Not every decision I make is a winner. Like green. Yeah, I would like to put some green in it. See, well, I forgot to do a thing. Yeah, I would like to have full artistic freedom on these designs, but they're ordered from the website. People have put these requests in, asked for specific colors and things. So while I have some freedom to make it look good, I do have to honor their requests. So if they pick particular colors, I gotta stick with those colors. But I agree, some green. I wouldn't have put that orange there. That orange is too much contrast, but obviously this is their color scheme. That's what they're going for. I'm gonna do this hat too real quick. This one we're doing blue letters, black outline, orange outline, and a gold crown. Yep, same thing. What color letters? Blue letters. Blue letters. M-A-L-A-C-H-I. Okay. I would love to change up the style of these letters, but kind of on a consistent order here. So Hats are harder because they're curved, and they're smaller, but I enjoy them because I enjoy working on this smaller defined canvas rather than like an open large one. That's easier for me to fill up this space than to just kind of, I don't know. I always want to add more and add more when it comes to these, and here I'm like limited, so I make the best use of this space, and it's just more enjoyable. But it definitely is more difficult, especially to fit a bunch of graffiti letters in. So when I'm doing my letters, I work from left to right because that's how we write letters. But I'm always thinking a letter in advance, making sure that, again, the most important part of the letters, the most fundamental parts that are going to make that letter legible are going to be visible as I go forward. Got to make sure people can read your shirt, so you need to make sure that the defining parts of the letters are clear. At the end of the day, it is a graffiti style artwork, and legibility, while important, isn't the primary focus here. Otherwise I'd be writing it in Times New Roman or something. There's some style that needs to be added, and it's okay if it takes a second for them to go, what does that say? Oh, it says Malachi. That's graffiti for you. That's kind of what the art form is. Otherwise you would just take pictures of everything and there'd be no reason to paint anything. Art is about adding your style to stuff, including letters. And while I'm at it, graffiti doesn't necessarily mean that I'm painting on walls and vandalizing buildings. Gotten a lot of comments about people like getting mad at me. Why am I teaching these kids how to vandalize buildings? I'm not teaching anybody how to vandalize a building. I'm teaching you how to write a letter. You don't see me painting on a building. It's silly to associate the shape of these letters with criminals. Right? I know that sometimes they do that, and that's the style that a lot of illegal graffiti artists use. That doesn't mean that I'm painting on walls because my letters look different. I've never vandalized a building. I've never been a graffiti artist in that regard. I did always get in trouble as a kid for painting on my stuff. My mom would get upset. It made sense. Apparently I ruined my jeans or something. Alright, put a crown on top on here. Alright, lots of comments. Let me see. Skillshare has great lessons. I'm going to look into them. Thank you. Try rolling a hat from back to bill. Then, yeah, I used to do that. You take the hat and you unclip the back and you do one of these and you clip it on a board like that and you paint it. And that's what we used to do. But I just don't need to do that anymore. It makes it hard to paint like the edges in the corner and the top. I'd rather just keep it like this and paint it as is, especially since a lot of the times I'm painting 50 hats at a time, and to do that on every hat's ridiculous. I just take a bunch of them and sit them on the counter usually and just go for it. But if I'm painting one, I put it on this nice mannequin. This is a cosmetology mannequin holder for when they cut hair, and then I put a foam head from Hobby Lobby on it, and it makes it real nice because I can adjust it. But really, it doesn't move. I just move the hat. All right, next, blue fill on these. This, I want to make sure I don't get overspray on these shirts. I'm gonna scoot them a little bit. Dagger strokes from the bottom up. all the way across. And now I'm gonna hit the top. I'm gonna leave a little bit of a lighter spot in the middle, as you see. It's not that much lighter, a little bit. And I'm gonna do my white highlights now. Where do I live? I live in Richmond, Virginia. But I don't have a retail shop. This is just me painting from home. I do everything online. The website is in the the description if you'd like to see it. I don't want to say I'm shutting down, but I am going to be slowing down on these orders soon. And that would be a win for me, because that means I get to paint more of what I want to paint. I'll still be open for commissions, cooler commissions, but I am going to be picky. I'm not going to paint everything. I'm going to paint the cool stuff that I want to paint. Hopefully I've made it that good. Now I'm going to do an outline of white on this under here to exaggerate the drop shadow onto this blue brim. There's a guy, an Australian airbrush artist. I don't know his real name, but his Instagram name is Airbrush Tats and Caps. Tats and Caps. He does some really awesome graffiti hats that I want to emulate, because he does a great job. By the way, is that shop done? Lights, cameras, walls, done? I don't think it'll ever be done, but it's getting there. So I do have my lights. I got strip lighting at the top and below and stuff, and it kind of is cool because it makes it glow down here. But I'm always going to be adding stuff and changing stuff. There's going to be multiple cameras and whatnot. You'll be able to see me. Turns out this camera or this computer that I got isn't quite powerful enough to handle my whole multiple camera stream setup, so I'm gonna have to return that and get a little better of a computer first. But then I'll be running OBS with a bunch of cameras and maybe have some buttons to switch camera views. I don't know. I don't want to make it too complicated, but I do want to make it a little cooler. Make some stars. I'm gonna add some stars. Yeah, I think I will. This yellow airbrush is a little bit clogged up right now, but it'll work good enough for me to fill in this color. And then bring back the white, do the orange outline and some stars. Then I'm pretty much done. I'm not gonna drag this stream out today. I want to keep it relatively short. Sometimes we go for 2 hours at a time. Nobody wants to watch this for 2 hours. I don't want to monologue for 2 hours. It's kind of exhausting. It's enjoyable, but then it gets like, man, I just want to take a break and sit down. I have to pee. Right now, like I said, I'm so busy with painting orders that I don't have time to make those intentional edited down videos. So if I want to make content for you guys, it has to come in the form of either really short, like TikTok style videos, time lapses, or live streams. So hopefully you guys enjoy the live streams for now, and I'll be throwing out some videos here and there when I can. But when it comes to the new year, business slows down a little bit. I'll be making fully edited out, better format videos. So watch along for those. They're coming as soon as I can get them to you. And start commenting requests and things like, what should I paint? What do you want to learn? What do you want to know? What do you want to see me do? I'm always reading those comments. I try to respond to most of them. I'm active. I hear you. I see you. Greetings from Albania. How much is an airbrush? The airbrush itself varies. It's from $35 to $300. Most of mine are Omni 3000s. They're about $80 each. Oh, I forgot this one. We can paint this one. This is going to take a minute. got a rose design and everything. Alright, I'm just gonna do this. Put my camera back into stand-up mode. Let me read this order. Masala, black tattoo font with a sparkly rose. Okay. So we got a rose underneath. This is a shirt that I did on a stream a while back. She ended up spelling the name wrong for a gift, so I have to do it again. She did pay for it. I gave her a discount. M-A-S-H-A-L-L-A-H with a rose below it. I'm gonna start with the text as always. This one's a little bit outside of my comfort zone because we're doing a font that I'm not familiar with, and I've got to paint. So here we go. M-A-S-H-A-L-L-A-H. It's a long word. I gotta make sure I have room. M-A-S-H-A-L-L-A-H. It'll be fine. A-L-L-A-H. Alright. Now to change it to a tattoo style font, I'm going to just go simple and add these little flares to some of these letters. I'm going to thicken up the bottoms of them. This isn't one of my go-to styles. I'm kind of making this up as I go. I need to learn an Old English font, black letter font, and a better tattoo font. So two things that are requested kind of often. Good styles to do sometimes that I just don't have a good library for in my head. I want to add a flourish, but I don't want to do that until I know where this rose is going. Again, this drop shadow is always a great way to add some depth quickly. Be careful not to overdo it and muddy up your design. You never want it to make it harder to read what you wrote. Check some chat. Thank you for your time. Shorter than that. I appreciate you guys. See you guys. See you later. Do some shoes. I never enjoyed doing shoes. And I guess that's because the last time I did shoes was a long time ago. I never enjoyed masking them. People always wanted the Air Force Ones and they were real particular, and I wasn't about trying to be real particular with people. Not my style. I paint messy, big graffiti designs, not tiny intricate portions and portraits and things. But I would do some graffiti letters on some shoes. I'm out of paint. Fill this red up real quick. That's not red. That's not red either. Where's my red, guys? Here it is. So, chat, I've never used Angelus paint either. Can you write a shirt like this with my name? I can. Using GoPro, I am using a GoPro. It's a chest mount. I better reduce this. I filled that up about halfway with that paint. I never really fill the bottle more than about half or 3/4. And I usually go pretty heavy on the reducer because I don't mind thin paint. If my paint's too thick, then it sprays slowly and inconsistently and sputters and stuff. And I'd rather have it too thin than too thick. Now, if I was painting on something like a canvas or any kind of hard surfaces, a thinner paint, a paint that would be too thin of a paint would be a bigger problem because it would splatter away and wouldn't get the coverage that I want. But since I'm painting on an absorbent t-shirt, you really can't have paint that's too thin. I could reduce it half and half and still be fine. Okay. No chats. How do you read the chat? Over here, I got my computer. I'm streaming from here. That's my chat window. I can kind of look back. I can't read it while I'm over here though. Let's just paint this rose. I painted some roses, not a lot. I start from the middle, kind of make it up. I just kind of looked at this, I don't need it anymore. I start from the middle and define a petal somewhere. And then you start painting petals behind it, and they wrap around to the front. It's kind of tricky. And by that I mean it's very tricky. It's one of those things though that once you get pretty close, it just always looks good. Like the palm trees, when you're painting the airbrush palm tree, just, I don't know, it's easy to make it look good even if it's not technically correct. And I just kind of get enough detail in there, and then I'm going to do black. I think I'll do black lines, and that'll be fun. You always have a little bit more control and detail with your black paint, at least I do the way I'm set up, than my other colors. So I do my sketches in one color and then usually go to black for my line work. And that's an artistic style. Most artists don't use solid black in their lettering or in their artwork because it's not a color that you see really in real life. But I'm illustrating things, not drawing still lifes. And I like to use black for outlines and letters, and I like that cartoon look. Alright, this should be a big shadow right here. Now, red paint is a little more opaque usually than the rest of the colors. I guess just because how they make red paint, I don't know. So I know that I can go a little darker with this black shadowing because when I do hit it with red, it is going to cover up the black a little bit. And that'll be good enough. Let me prove that to you. I also have a fully opaque red here that I use sometimes. See, that red over top of that black ends up looking pretty good. It's one of the few colors that I can actually shade with black. You couldn't do that with a blue or a yellow or something. And that looks fine. I'll do some white while I'm at it. This white is too thick. I've been struggling with it. I need to thin it down, but I'm not gonna Other people with the airbrush and with some patience could make a rose that looks more realistic than a photo does. There's water droplets and every fold and layer and the texture of the petals and everything in there. And you can do that with an airbrush. I just don't, that's not my style. I'm trying to do this in 2 minutes, not 2 days. I gotta do a stem also. Check the chat. Do you ever mess up and start over? Sometimes, yeah. Music I'm listening to. I have some lo-fi hip-hop beats playing in the background now. One of the reasons for that is because it's not triggered by YouTube's copyright stuff, which is cool. The other reason is it's just lyricless and relaxing to me. When I'm not streaming, I listen to everything, usually Christian music, usually like David Balanch is good. There's a lot. I can make a playlist. Everything. I listen to all kinds of music. I got a gaming mix of like all the old Zelda soundtracks. I'm gonna do a weird stem. Not realistic at all, but it's gonna look cool. So yeah, I want to add more color and detail to the outside, but these are all the colors they wanted. So I'm going to use something like gray and neutral color to add shading and accents. I want to add some red to this text also. I'm going to do that before I continue. So I'm going to put a little bit of white in these letters so that I can cover them up with red in a second. I'm going to pretty much just go across that line, that plane. With some white. And maybe some extra in some places. And cover that up with some red. Do one of these in the background. And that might seem like a lot, but when I come back with white, it will make more sense. Another tedious little step. Probably doing way too much on this shirt. Happens sometimes. I don't know when to stop. I keep on going. And I wish I would have stopped a couple steps ago, but maybe not. Maybe this one's okay. say that, and then I continue adding more things. It'll be okay. It's not great. It's not my favorite. If you like songs by Bruno Mars, a couple of them. Alright. I guess I'll just add the background colors on these real quick. And then I think I'm gonna get off of here, because I got a lot more to paint today. And I need to paint quickly. I'm behind on Christmas orders. Dum, dum, dum. Generic gold background designs. Like I said, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining in. It makes the day go by. It's a lot more entertaining for me to be able to talk to you guys. Hopefully teach some of you something while I'm doing this, and at least just have a conversation. It makes a lot more sense for me to talk to myself when I know people are at least listening to me. But rest assured, I'll talk to myself whether you guys are here or not. So there's that. But if you learned something from this video and you want to see some more digested, edited down content with less banter and more facts, subscribe and check and watch for edited videos. Right, I'm still gonna do these live streams, and that's what I'm gonna do for a little while because I'm kind of low on time. But the curated, edited, intentional how to airbrush, how to everything videos are coming, as well as some fun ones. I got a Bob Ross costume I keep on talking about because I'm excited about. Everything is coming, but get ready for it. Go get your airbrush kit. Go take it out of the box and learn how to play with it a little bit. Hopefully you have a little bit of experience, because what I want to teach you isn't just how to make paint come out, but like how to make stuff with the paint. So go practice, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon. I don't have a mirror in here, so you can't see my beautiful face, but I promise it's up here. And thanks for hanging out. Have I ever done portraits? No. Yes. I'm not good at them. I haven't done them in a long time. But yes, it's one of the things I will make videos about because I want to get better at them, and there's no way to get better at things than doing them, so I will. Glad you guys liked it. I'm glad you learned it. Which shirt did you like most of all? This one was my most fun to paint. I didn't like the colors on this one. The hat was okay too. This style of artwork is always my favorite. I like when I have more freedom, but regardless, that's it. This one was fun too, but I didn't paint it today. Yeah, thanks guys. I will see you guys soon, and goodbye. Love you, bye.